And for our last story today, let's turn our attention to New Zealand, where 3 Maori members of Parliament are set to be temporarily suspended for performing a haka in the House last year. The 3 leaders of the Maori Party face temporary suspensions following their protest during a vote on the controversial Treaty Principles Bill back in November. Now, this is believed to be the harshest ever penalty issued to parliamentarians. The bill, introduced by the ACT Party, aimed to reinterpret the Treaty of Waitangi, which is New Zealand's founding document guaranteeing Maori rights. This sparked significant concern and widespread protests, with Maori communities fearing a rollback of decades of progress. The haka, a traditional Maori dance, was their dramatic response during the bill's first reading, with one of the lawmakers also seen tearing up a copy of the legislation. The footage quickly went viral, garnering hundreds of millions of views globally.
And our sovereignty as an Indigenous people here in Aotearoa. We are the kingmakers, we are the sovereign people of this land, and the world is watching us here. Not because of the system, not because of the rules, but because we haka, and because we have our reo, and because we have our culture, and our grandparents, and my nana hana who came here and delivered the reo for the peti hana, her grandkid was able to speak her reo fluently.
While the Treaty Principles Bill was ultimately defeated at its second reading in April, the Parliamentary Privileges Committee has now delivered its verdict on the MPs' actions. In a report released yesterday, the committee has recommended a 3-week suspension for 2 of them, which is an unprecedented penalty, and a 7-day suspension for the 3rd one.
Make no mistake, this was a very serious incident, and the likes of which I have never seen before in my 23 years in the debating chamber. We cannot bring this House into disrepute by ignoring those rules, especially if that results in other members being intimidated or maybe being intimidated.
The committee stated that their actions could have intimidated other legislators and constituted contempt of Parliament.
It is not acceptable to physically approach another member on the floor of the debating chamber. It is particularly unacceptable for Ms. Ngāri Wapaka to appear to simulate firing a gun at another member of Parliament.
The committee specifically highlighted the timing and the manner of the haka, which interrupted the voting process.
So here we are at the crux of the matter. It is not the haka, it is not about tikanga, it is not about the Treaty of Waitangi. It is about following the rules of Parliament, that we are all obliged to follow and that we all pledge to follow. It does not matter our gender, our ethnicity or our beliefs. In this Parliament, we are all simply members of Parliament, and like any institution, it has rules.
The temporary suspensions are expected to be formally affirmed by a vote of all lawmakers next Tuesday. During their suspension, the 3 MPs will not receive their salaries and will be absent from next week's crucial annual budget debate. The Maori Party has reacted strongly, condemning the penalties as the harshest ever handed down, calling it a warning shot against Maori resistance to colonial powers. While the opposition Labour Party agreed the MPs' conduct was a contempt of the House, they deemed the suspensions unduly severe, suggesting a shorter penalty would have been more appropriate. The Green Party went further, opposing the suspensions entirely, calling them completely out of proportion and expressing concern over the lack of Maori representation during the budget. Now, this unprecedented move has ignited a fierce debate about the balance between parliamentary decorum and freedom of expression. The vote next week will be closely watched by the Maori community and the rest of the world.
At Firstpost, we are choosing to hold on to accuracy. That means we won't always be first. We may not get you your breaking alert. But what you will get is what we owe you. And that is the truth. Verified, checked and cross-checked. We rely on sources and verified ones. After all, that's what separates a journalist from a loudspeaker. But sometimes even we miss a beat. And when we do, we will tell you. Like yesterday, we ran visuals from a registered news agency. That visual turned out to be fake. So we are taking accountability. And from now on, we will cite the source of every visual. Every picture, every video that you see on Firstpost will have a source mentioned. That is our commitment to you. We will wait, we will verify, we will ask again, and only then will we tell you. No noise, no panic, just the facts. Because right now, that is what the country needs most.